Fun.
Always those first few moments after we go live for our pre-show. It's like, oh, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do?
We're live. We don't have an intro for the pre-show.
Live and unscripted.
I guess we should probably maybe work on a pre-show intro. The pre-show.
Welcome everyone to the pre-show.
Yeah, we should get like a rap intro or something like that.
There's some good Fiverr rappers.
I know.
What was I going to look at? The Nord. Good old Nord stuff.
Why is it the Nord? That just reminds me of NordVPN.
Nord, exactly. That's what when I typed in Nord in the search engine first, like that's what came up is NordVPN. I'm like,
just happened to me.
Who title?
So you got to remember that OnePlus is bigger in other countries, like especially India. Like in India, the OnePlus is basically iPhone status. You know, it's known as like what iPhone is here in America.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if NordVPN isn't as popular as it is in the US and other countries.
True.
So there wouldn't be any kind of like name conflict.
Yeah, because you got to remember that the Nord, the original Nord that they came out with, was not released in the United States. It wasn't until just now that T-Mobile picked up the two Nord phones that they picked up that it was released in the United States. So I don't think that OnePlus probably had the vision to have the Nord series in America. I don't think that was their original plan. And I think, you know, we can talk about the Nord stuff when we get to the show.
Fair enough. Now I have to look into their company and like their company's history and why they would choose Nord for something. And if it speaks to some kind of heritage that they have or something.
Hey, Matt, is that your OtterBox case on there?
it is.
I'll
talk about it. Let me tweet this first, and then I'll.
Oh. I guess I can let you tweet first.
5G. Everything's
because you can't edit on Twitter, so I got to make sure that I do it right the first time.
You can if you use Tweetbot.
You can edit your Twitter post.
I'm like 90% sure you can do it. Now I'm not sure. Now you have me second guessing myself.
You can't.
I'm going to.
Because if you did, everybody would be on Twitter editing their tweets.
I really wish that Twitter would allow some. Let us edit Twitter.
Yeah,
let us edit.
Just let us edit
Shaq.
it. Why should we not be able to edit it? What, we say something stupid and then we just delete it and have to like repost?
Well,
why does it matter?
So they thought about doing that, and then so basically there would be like a revisions, like little icon at the bottom where you tap it and you could see all the revisions that were made to it.
Okay.
The biggest thing is that they don't want somebody to tweet out something and then go in there and change it all up to be something completely, pornographic or something like that, or racist, and then have all these people,
that would make sense.
I think that like if it has a certain amount of retweets, then it shouldn't allowed to be edited. I think is the way they should do that, because that would then prevent it, and then.
I mean, it works. You can edit everything else on the internet everywhere else. So, I mean, unless you can't on Instagram, I don't actually know, but pretty much every other platform.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Soon you will be able to make soft served ice cream in your own kitchen at home, but you still can't edit tweets. Like, that's sad.
Oh my god.
And the soft serve Keurig machine comes back.
Yeah.
It's a soft served machine.
See, there's something nice about knowing that the ice cream won't get too frozen, because the first scoop into a brand new fresh thing of ice cream is always the best. It's always the smoothest. Then you put it in there and it starts to get more solid, and it's not as easy. You have to leave it out for a little bit.
Have you ever had the experience of scooping ice cream and then have the scooper go through the paper of the of the ice cream, like the
Sounds
cardboard.
tragic.
I have
sad.
never had that happen.
It's
ever.
so sad.
How hard are you scooping your ice cream?
It's frozen. You have to scoop it.
Yeah, but, I mean, like, how frozen is it that you're putting that much force into it? I've never had to put that much force into scooping an ice cream scoop. Ever in my entire life.
If you're using a spoon, maybe I could see that happening, but if you're using like a dedicated ice cream scoop, I don't know. I just kind of try and let that thing do as much as it can by itself.
I tried using a spoon, but it would just bend all our spoons, so I have to stop doing. I have to use an actual ice cream scoop.
I feel like maybe that's the point in time where you like run the scoop under hot water for a little bit. Or maybe adjust the temperature of your freezer, because that still sounds super frozen for ice cream.
Now I have to look up frozen ice cream tips. Prepare your ice box. Spread a layer
on
of
the
crushed
next
ice
cast.
around.
How to make the perfect ice cream.
How to make the perfect ice cream. Interesting.
What's your favorite ice cream? All of yours.
Oh,
there you go, Tim. Cutco ice cream scoop has some special metal that melts the ice cream so it will scoop no matter what. Now you don't have to worry about ruining your ice cream container.
Do those really work though? I've seen those where it's like it takes the heat from your hand and channels it down some kind of.
I'm willing to bet Tim's gonna find out.
I'm gonna look this up.
I'm looking at the Cutco website for this $51 ice cream scoop. Scoop into the hardest ice cream.
If it works,
period.
worth it.
$51 for a scooper? What?
But listen, the thin edge cuts through frozen desserts easily.
I'd rather
Extra wide scoop.
buy a
serves
new
big
ice. I'd rather just eat an entire thing of ice cream every time I want ice cream.
I mean, yeah. This is worth bending like 5 spoons just to get out a couple scoops of ice cream rather than paying $51 for this. I don't even like the way it looks. It's kind of got this weird rubbery handle and just really boring ice cream scoop part. Why am I critiquing ice cream scoops? Why are we here?
It's very small. You expect me to scoop ice cream at that size?
The next Gooply cast, in addition to how to make the best ice cream, we have to review and give our first impressions of the latest ice cream scoops.
Yeah, I agree. We'll have to, yeah.
I mean, I stopped buying like large containers of ice cream, so I usually don't. Because my wife's vegan, so there's no point in buying that much ice cream ever. Mm-hmm. It is literally just me that eats the ice cream.
I've tried some of those. Oh yeah, your kids don't eat ice cream?
They don't respond well to sugar. So it's not that they don't. It's not that they don't ever have ice cream. They just don't have it very often. I mean, to be honest, I don't eat ice cream that often. I literally have a pint of Ben and Jerry's that I bought like a week ago and haven't even eaten it yet. Haven't even opened it. It's still wrapped in its plastic.
Does Zoe like ice cream, Tim?
Yeah.
What's your favorite kind?
She's watching.
Oh wait, I shouldn't have asked that. She probably doesn't know.
Shoot.
And this answer can mean whether you're sleeping on the couch.
Yep. Here we go. Let's see.
Oh, Zoe, let us know if
he's sweating right now.
I think it's mint chocolate chip.
That's probably the best flavor ever, right there.
Agreed.
I like that flavor a lot. So, I think.
Zoe, is he right? It's okay to say he's wrong. No, you went with mint chocolate chip.
We'll have to find out. Oh,
good job.
He's sleeping in the bedroom tonight.
Yes. Yes.
Mint chocolate chip is easily my go-to anytime. Like, there's never a time where I'm not okay with mint chocolate chip.
Do you remember where you had the best mint chocolate chip, or like what brand or place you were at?
I mean, if I'm buying from the store, I think Tillamook's probably the one that I prefer because I feel like it's a little bit extra creamier. There are some smaller batches that you can get in the pints that I think are pretty good. Like Snoqualmie makes a good mint chocolate chip. Breyers makes a good mint chocolate chip. They're the mint chocolate chips are really any of the ice creams you get from those little produce stands that are out in the middle of nowhere. They have great ice cream. I don't know where they get their ice cream, but it's amazing.
Mm-hmm. I think the first time I had mint chocolate chip was actually like at a Starbucks and an Albertsons when they used to sell ice cream, which they don't anymore. And it was
I remember
delicious.
that. That was the first time that I had bubblegum ice cream with bubblegum pieces in it. I wish they would go back to the old bubblegum ice cream without the bubblegum pieces in it. That just interrupts my ice cream experience.
Just two completely different textures.
Yeah, I don't mind having like for instance nuts or chocolate chips or cookie dough globs. Like I don't mind having that in my ice cream, but I don't want bubblegum pieces of my ice cream because I don't feel like I want to swallow all that bubblegum. So that means I get the bubblegum and I spit the bubblegum out.
Well, exactly. It's like
cream.
it just stays in there and you're still chewing the bubble gum because it's still in there. Oh. Cherries. He dropped the Cherries Jubilee.
That's my wife's favorite. She gets it whenever we go to Baskin Robbins or we go to the mall.
Looks good. I think cherry is a not just a solid pick. Like it's just always trustworthy. I don't think I've had a bad cherry.
There was this brand that made a cherry vanilla, and it was basically vanilla ice cream with little cherry chunks in it. It was amazing. I can't remember what brand it was because it was when I was a kid. We used to get it at a store called Marketplace, which was like this little, small town shopping place. But cherry vanilla was really good.
I also want to point out that Matt says that the Cutco ice cream scoop has some special metal that melts the ice cream so it will scoop no matter what. And he's willing to let us borrow it to demo it.
We have
our
a
next episode.
new review coming up soon.
We'll go get some hard packed ice cream from Baskin Robbins and use that Cutco scoop on it.
We could just interview a Baskin Robbins person and ask them where they get their ice cream.
Their scoops stay in hot water all day.
Oh, that's true.
We should get somebody to come on the podcast and talk about ice cream. Interview them on the podcast.
That would be so cool. You know who's really great at getting companies to talk to him?
That Twitter. Would be Tim. Yeah, Tim, come on.
Do I just need to start responding to
Well, and Roy has the ear of Tim Cook, so
Tim Cook could pull some strings.
To exploit that friendship, though.
He's like, hey, I happen to know the CEO of Cold Stone.
Tim, I don't feel like Tim will want to be my friend if I exploit that friendship with him. I'm just trying to keep it low key.
Who is the CEO of Cold Stone?
He's a busy guy. Tim Cook. Probably lots of people that want his attention. He has limited time.
He's got a multi-billion-dollar company to run. I mean, I'm not gonna.
He's got
I'm not gonna bug him with little things.
$2 trillion company to run.
Once again, trying to keep
I'm obviously here today, so I didn't win Powerball over the weekend.
So are you saying that if you won Powerball, you'd stop doing the Googlecast?
No, but I would probably take a few weeks off and, spend a bunch of money.
And we'd all go on vacation together.
Yes. We'd all have our own island where we're your backgrounds for your things would all be put together.
Okay, Matt coming in with the info says Cold Stone has ice cream and a Cold Stone. The cream gets hardened on the frozen stone. That's why they use the paddle type things. They don't have
yeah.
Yeah, they have that like I don't even know what to call it. The just cream or some kind of gelatinous ice cream like fluid, and then it gets cold on the Cold Stone. Team building retreat in Hawaii, says Zoe. We could do that. I think
Zoe's just hoping she would get to tag along as Tim's +1. I mean, if it was true team building, there would be 0 distractions, which means no +1s. I'm just saying. Sorry, Zoe.
I haven't even looked to see if anybody won. Let's see.
Oh. Matt's wife.
I just thought Matt Lewis was a Cold Stone expert, like
connoisseur of Cold Stone.
Yeah.
I still have a chance, guys. Nobody won Mega Millions. It's $850 million, and Powerball is at $730 million. So I need to get tickets tomorrow for Mega Millions, and Wednesday I need to get Powerball. So, you know what? I was talking to my wife about this, and you don't ever win the lottery buying a ticket from Safeway. You need to go out to the middle of nowhere where they have a convenience store with bars on the wall, and you need to walk in and buy your ticket from there. That's how you win the true lotto.
What? Why?
That's where all the people win it.
True. That's where all the people win. They win at these mom and pop shops, that
just like out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, they have bars on their windows, or they're like a cheap gas station that has no name gas. No brand of gas. They only sell the premium because that's all they've got left.
If you were desperate, it sounds like you could fund a road trip just trying to win lotteries by going to all these out-of-the-way random places and buying lottery tickets.
We don't spend that much money. The maximum we spent was like $20, I think, on lottery tickets. So we'll probably spend another $20 this week just because, and split it between the two, 10 and 10. But
I'm not gonna lie, I would totally partake in that road trip.
That would be kind of an epic road trip. So
travel across the country, get at least 2 tickets from each state.
That would be cool, actually.
Just go do the random lotteries throughout the United States.
Yeah.
I like going to out of the way places because you always find really unique food, like restaurants, where they have like some random special thing that they're just really good at making, and it's always like delicious, and you're like, that was one of the best burgers or like best waffles or something that I've ever had.
I love going to bars in like random areas. When the previous company I worked for, we went to visit a client on Mount Rainier, and after we were done, we went to go get lunch. We picked a random bar like out where Mount Rainier is, and it was so good. The burgers were so good.
I found tavern burgers generally are like just good. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I love bar nachos.
Matt, have you ever been to Burger Master?
I've been to 2 different types of Burger Masters. The one with the
drive up in Bellevue, the drive up one.
That's right down the street from me. I haven't been there yet.
You should go there. Me and my wife went there. We went over to Bellevue for the weekend, or not for the weekend. We went over on Sunday to do some returns, and we got lunch there because pretty much you got to eat in your car if you want to eat anywhere because you can't go into a restaurant. So we decided to go there, and it was so amazing. It was filled. Like the parking lot was filled. You couldn't even get a spot after we got the last spot, and then you had to kind of drive around and look for them or park on the street, walk up. But yeah, my wife loved it, so she had never been there before. So
so good. I love the I think is it the crab sandwich? Is it crab or lobster? One of the two. There's it's so good.
So we're actually staying in Bellevue next week. We booked a couple nights at the AC there in downtown Bellevue.
Oh yeah.
So we're gonna test out the Bellevue living experience. Yeah.
Very cool. Do you know what the weather is like this weekend?
I don't. I haven't looked it up. I think it's not next week, not this weekend, the following weekend. Because our meetup is on the. So sorry, I got that confused. Our meetup's on the 30th. So yeah, the 29th and the 30th we're staying, and then we're coming home on the 31st. So
cool. I feel like Bellevue is exceptionally cold. Like for some reason, it has always felt colder to me than like Seattle or, Spokane. Spokane is super warm. So Yeah, Bellevue just feels like freezing cold, which is the only thing that I don't like about Bellevue. I love the way that the city is designed. I love that I think it's the Crossroads Mall or just the downtown mall has like all the different shopping centers that you can like walk between. That's fun.
I haven't been to Crossroads Mall. We might do that next weekend because I haven't been to Crossroads Mall in forever. Is the QFC still there?
Yes.
Is the movie theater still there?
Movie theater is still there, still a Regal.
Nice. Okay.
For the time being.
For the time being, yeah. We'll see.
I really hope they come back. Just movie theaters in general.
Yeah. We have we do the AMC A list, but there's a nice one in Factoria that has the recliner seats, which is really nice. So we're looking forward to that. And then we're also actually looking forward to the 21 and over that's at the new Lincoln Center across from Bellevue Square. It's a Cinemark one too. But you just get like some of these smaller theaters, you know, you get all these kids in there and all they want to do is sit and talk and text on the phone. It's really
weird. I went to, it might have been a Cinemark at Redmond Town Center, and I think we were watching Joker, and like this woman was just talking on her phone almost the entire time, and she was not quiet about it either. And someone had to like come in and like take her and her boyfriend like out so she could finish her conversation. It was the first time that we'd been there too, so I was like, "Why is this happening here? Like, just eat and chill."
Yeah.
But it was a nice experience despite that. Good food, good reclining chairs, and they were more comfortable than like the Regal ones, which was nice. I could have fallen asleep, honestly.
We went to go see Incredibles, the second one, at Cinebar, because Zoe was saying, I've waited, how many years was it since the...
It was a long time.
Yeah, she's like, I've waited this many years. I'm not going to have one little kid ruin it for me. So we went to the Cinebar and saw it. It was great. Fantastic.
Grizzy. Let's see.
Do you guys think that I should get rid of my monitors and only do stuff in VR?
You could.
It'd be really funny for the podcast. You just have your headset on the entire time. You'd have to get googly eyes on the front of it.
Well, of course you have to. I didn't actually think of that. Hold on one sec. Do I have it somewhere? I'll be right back. Can I wear it with my headset? The Grizzly Den in Hoquiam.
Yeah, I'm looking for it. I can't find the...
I found
like
it.
that name.
Well, I found their Facebook page. I can't find any pictures of their burgers, though.
Ooh. That looks really good. Hey,
oh my god, that like, so I googled it and it pulls up a couple pictures. The first picture is just like delicious, sloppy looking ground beef.
Yeah, I see that same one.
It just looks like they threw really well grilled ground beef onto this burger. A bunch of interesting toppings. I see some lettuce. Is that like just bacon thrown on there?
It looks like, yeah.
So
where are you guys seeing this?
Google.
On there. Well, I know I googled it, but
what are you saying to me, Oculus? Why are you even on?
Is it playing music?
Yeah, I don't know where that came from. It was just like, hey.
Oh, here we go. Maybe I got it now.
Elevator music. That seemed very calming.
I don't know where that music was from either. Like I was using virtual desktop, I think, but there was no music in virtual desktop, so I don't understand. Super confused. Oh, they have like a nice chicken tender looking sandwich with bacon, which is great.
Oh man.
I don't want to see any of this right now. I'm actually hungry.
They don't have a website.
Are you looking at it on their Facebook page?
This is just on Google, the Google listing.
Images? Oh, Google
Yeah.
listing.
Grizzly Den, right corner of the screen, just see photos.
They scoop so many ice cream scoops into their ice cream cones. Oh man, they know how to scoop ice cream.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, but it's so far away.
I mean, is it too
Hopefully
far
it's
for a
not
company
far
trip?
for me. It's
Where
not
is
far
this?
for me.
I mean, you basically have to go to Aberdeen.
Yeah,
Ooh.
it's on the way to Ocean Shores.
Oh.
So we take a team building trip to Ocean Shores. And we stop off here for some burgers, both ways.
Oh, both ways, of course.
Yeah.
I appreciate that you did that, Matt. That's awesome.
I might go down there.
There's a town called New London over
They
there.
have they actually have a really cool Star Wars store in Hoquiam. It's a mom and pop one, I think. It's still there.
Well, we don't even have to go to Ocean Shores. We can just go to the Star Wars store.
One of you should
Yeah,
share
it's in
your
Hoquiam.
screen with this burger. Just so that people can see. It's recorded in memory.
I just closed it out. Do you have it up, Tim, still?
Yeah, I'm looking at the map right now, trying to figure out how I'm going to get
Here,
there.
I can pull it up again. Hold on. I can pull it up again.
Okay.
Road trip for burgers and lottery tickets.
We should do a fan meetup and see who of the 3 people watching are willing to meet us there.
That's not fair because Zoe will just come with you.
True.
Matt, there's also, if you ever go to Oregon, Washington Square Mall has a really cool mom and pop Star Wars store too that outbeats any Star Wars store that I've seen. So it's called the Star Wars store. It's in the Washington Square Mall. It's got a lot of used Star Wars stuff, new Star Wars stuff. Yeah, it's definitely worth it. Okay, so pull up pictures, see more photos.
Speaking of Star Wars stuff, have you guys seen there's this YouTube channel, I forgot what it's called, but they make what would be realistic, like fantasy or sci-fi items into like realistic weaponry. There it is.
Oh.
There's that.
Is that a Corridor Digital?
I will have to double check. Corridor Digital.
I think I know who that is.
YouTube.
They know how to scoop
Well, they
their
got ice cream.
Yeah, see, they know how to scoop.
They probably have one of the Cutco scoops. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Oh, those fries look good.
Those fries are as big as the plate. That is awesome.
Yeah. I'd have to get a second plate full of fries, so I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, they got waffle cut fries.
They have waffle.
Yeah, they
cut
have
fries.
curly. They have curly cut fries too. I saw with one of their things too. I don't know if they switched them up or whatnot. They got Pepsi products though. That's kind of a downfall for me.
Yeah, but they make it up with those fries.
And the generous ice cream scoops.
Okay, we're a little late for the podcast, so
That's fair. I just wanted to throw in what I was talking
a
about.
little far off. Go ahead.
Hacksmith Industries makes a 4,000 degree plasma proto lightsaber.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
I would genuinely lose an arm so quickly if they did that to me.
They cut like a car in half or like a car door or something, and they cut like doors. The thing was amazing. But super dangerous. But yeah, okay. I just wanted to throw that in there. Podcast stuff.
Okay. How do I get rid of the chat?
Hold on. I get rid of it for you.
Oh, okay. Sorry, chat. All right. Then let's go ahead and full screen Matt. All right. You ready to start?
Good to go.
Okay. Gonna start the intro now.
Android and iPhone users, welcome. BlackBerry and Windows Phone users, we will accept you. The podcast going beyond the headlines. This is the GooplyCast. Now the host, Matthew Carter.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the GooplyCast. If you're listening to us as a podcast, consider coming to hang out with us live on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, or YouTube on Monday nights just after 8 p.m. PST. Or if you'd like to listen to us on the go, catch us after our live show on your favorite Android or iOS podcasting apps, as well as iHeartRadio.com. I'm your host, Matt Carter. With me today is Matt Evans. Hey, Matt.
Hello.
As well as Roy Slapinski. Hey, Roy.
Hello.
And Tim Van Claveren. Hey, Tim.
Hello.
And we are bottling our excitement to talk about Samsung's latest phones and other product releases, as well as OnePlus's new phone. And Matt is gone. Where did Matt go? No, Matt. I can't see him. Can you guys see him?
I'm right here.
I can see him.
He's gone on my screen. I will post an awesome photo of you right there. But yeah, today we're going to be talking about Samsung as well as OnePlus. I don't know. What do you guys want to get started on?
Well,
I think we should kick off with the Galaxy S21.
Galaxy
21 Plus and 21 Ultra.
So, does anybody have a Samsung device here?
I have an Galaxy S8 and S8 Plus.
Okay. Are you a big fan? What is that your primary device, though, Matt?
Those are my main pieces, my daily drivers.
Both of them at the same time?
Yeah, one is for games so that I don't ruin the memory and the battery and all that stuff. I use the Plus for the larger screen so I can play games, and then I use the regular Galaxy S8 for phones and apps and texting and stuff.
So your regular Galaxy S8 is your main phone. The 21 is more of a gaming device, or the 21, the 8 Plus.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that running One UI, or did that not get the update to One UI?
That did not get One UI, which I didn't know existed until I was looking into the Galaxy S21, and apparently Samsung has what seems like a stripped down but still really solid OS that they put on top of Android, and they're in like the third version now.
That makes sense because they brought it out during the they brought out when the S10 came out.
Mm-hmm.
So S21, yeah, that's through because it was S10, S20, S21.
Mm-hmm. Which looks really cool because it has this one-handed mode that shrinks like the display so that it only uses about a quarter of the screen, so you can more easily use it with one hand rather than having some kind of like strange one-hand mode.
Isn't that kind of like how they did the iPhone version where it brings the top of the screen down? You know what I'm talking about, Roy?
A lot of the One UI brings a lot of the stuff down natively where you don't have to, like what you're talking about is on the iPhone where you have to use your thumb gesture to bring down stuff, and it's called reachability. The One UI is more or less designed intuitively so that everything is more reachable with one hand from the get-go. You don't have to access reachability. It is just intuitively already there, built into the OS. So when you pull things down, everything's going to be more towards the bottom part of the screen versus the top part of the screen and taking up stuff.
Yeah, like imagine you have a standard size photo taking up the whole of your display, and then you kind of take the top right corner, say, and drag that to about the half point of the screen, and then you have access to what would have been your full screen kind of compressed into that small space. So you have access to everything. And on the new Galaxy S21s, did you guys see the screen sizes?
Yeah, so the 6.2 inches, 6.7 inches, and then 6.8 inch for the Ultra.
All OLED, all like edge to edge. I think they look pretty nice.
I definitely think they're nice looking phones, and I enjoy what Samsung has done with their naming conventions. Everybody was really upset when they went from S10 to S20, but they went with what year it is, and it makes sense. The naming convention is no longer what generation it is the year. And I think that it's a lot less confusing to call it the S20, S21 based on the year.
I just think that we need to get away from, and this is just like the Plus naming, because we have Disney Plus, we have Apple TV Plus. Like, I think we just need to get rid of Plus. Like, Plus is just like, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's like Apple did it, and then now because it's a standard word that everybody.
We have Discovery Plus now, don't we? Didn't Discovery come out with Streaming Plus? Like, I mean, Plus is just like, it's gotten way overused for so many different things.
I don't think it belongs in the streaming world. In the phone world, it still makes sense to me. When you tell me that there's an S21 and an S21 Plus, I'm immediately going to understand what the S21 Plus is.
Like, I like the idea of the Ultra. I could see like a word. Ultra, and then like I could see like an Galaxy S21 Max maybe, or something like that, and then go up there from there. I mean,
I think I like the Ultra word, but I don't like the Plus word. Like you're saying, it's too much, and I don't need it anymore. Like I understand,
and I think that
like communicates like it's the plus size, it's a size bigger or something like that.
And I think that's why Apple got away from it with the Plus versions of their phone, is because it's so overly used, and now it's used with their streaming services and their fitness services and whatever other services come out, so I feel like we could do away with Plus in the naming conventions of phones, just because it's kind of dominating streaming and services now.
And the weird thing is, like, there's a huge difference between the screen size of the S21 and the S21 Plus, but there's not a big difference between the Plus and the Ultra. I can't remember if that's true between the Pro and the Pro Max. I forget their screen sizes and like how they.
It's a 6.2 to 6.7 inch difference, I believe.
For the which one? The Pro? 6.0.
The Pro and the Pro Max.
6 inch. The 6. It's 6.0. It's a 6-inch screen size for the Pro.
Okay, so they win a little on like the numbers game, maybe, like slightly bigger screens for the S21 series.
So they, you got the three different Samsung S21s. You got the S21, S21 Plus, S21 Ultra, and I was saying this a little bit earlier. I really enjoy that Samsung brought out the S21 at I believe it's $799. And to me, in my mind, it's got the plastic body. It still has the wireless charging, the reverse wireless charging. It's still got a fantastic screen. This to me is this year's version of the FE without calling it the FE. It's almost like I don't want to say sub flagship, because this is still their flagship line, other than their Note series, obviously. But they made the S21 super affordable, a great entry point price, because that $500 to $800 range for a cell phone is super competitive. I think we owe a lot of that to OnePlus and what they brought in that price range. But you get $800, you get the S21. I think it's $1,000, $999 for the S21 Plus, and that's got the glass body and the bigger screen. But the fact that they brought their base model down to $799 is pretty big, because I want to say last year there was only like $100 that separated them between the S20 and the S20 Plus, and both of them were glass bodies, so probably some cost saving there. They did take away expandable storage this year, so no more expandable storage. And probably my favorite thing to poke fun at is you will no longer get a charger in the box, even though Samsung was really quick to point out that Apple was stupid for removing the charger from the box. And if you've been paying attention to their social media over the last couple weeks, they have been quietly deleting every single mention of making fun
all
of
their
Apple
tweets.
for removing
Yeah, I
it.
saw that.
Ooh. My God, Samsung.
I have you know that we're talking about Samsung, and I'm wearing an Apple TV.
Samsung wasn't the only one to remove the charger from the box. There's a couple other manufacturers that are starting to remove the charging brick from the box. I mean, it's going to start happening, just like the headphone jack, just like notches happened, and Apple got made fun of that. This is not a plug towards Apple, but it seems like Apple does something, they get made fun of it, and then everybody still does it.
I think for Samsung, removing the charging block from the device makes not a lot of sense, especially if the charging block was going to be a USB-C to USB-C, I can't remember if the S20, if that's what it was, but not a lot of people have those. So
well, it's kind of the same thing they did with Apple. A lot of people, the iPhone 12 came out with a USB-C end to Lightning connector, and then like a lot of people, they removed the charging bricks. A lot of people didn't have that brick in order to connect their phone to it, so they had to eventually buy one, because everybody has the old USB ones, but not the newer ones.
Mm-hmm. Which I think, even if you're saying, hey, we're saving the environment by removing all this extra packaging, we can really slim it down, ship more. It's like, no, you're making people go spend like gas and time and just buy the packaging anyway, because they'll probably buy it from you when they're in the store and someone will suggest them.
Don't get me wrong. Apple may have removed the charging block and Samsung may have removed the charging block, and they may use the justification that it's to help the environment. And I'm not saying that it doesn't help the environment, but what I'm saying is you're going to get people who will eventually go and buy that USB-C power brick so that they can use the higher speed charging and use the cable that came in the box, because Matt's right. The iPhone 12 series came with USB-C to Lightning. Not a lot of people have USB-C to Lightning unless they've already bought into the fast charging capabilities that came out with the iPhone 10 generation and later, because Apple always purchased or packaged the USB-A to Lightning bricks in their box. So you're going to go to the Apple store or wherever. You're going to buy yourself a Lightning to USB-C power brick, which means you're still buying yourself a brick, which means they're not saving bricks in the long run, and you're buying packaging. So I think it's a money grab. I do think that there are probably some people who may not buy it, so maybe they're saving a little bit, but they're not saving as much of the environment as they are letting on with their figures.
One of the things that
PR stunt.
With the added bonus of this being a PR stunt for them, being able to claim that they're kind of not partnering, but going into parity with Apple, trying to do something for the environment, at least Samsung reduced the cost of this year's phones from last year. Because last year, the S20 was like $999, but this year it's $799, and each model of this year is $200 less than the S20 model last year. So what they removed from the packaging, what they removed from the end user getting, they at least kind of gave them back in terms of savings on the cost of the phone.
Oh, don't get me wrong. It's fantastic to see a lower price point all around. I think that the last 4 or 5 years, even longer than that, we've been seeing that price point steadily go up every single year. And it's kind of nice to see the price point come down a little bit this year. I mean, even your entry point flagship iPhone was a little bit cheaper this year. The iPhone 12 was cheaper this year than it was last year. It's nice to see that kind of even itself out eventually. Because, I mean, the original set of iPhones used to only be like $600.
And now these phones are so close in comparison to the physical specs and what they offer. Samsung threw At least in the Galaxy S21 Ultra, like you can get up to 16 gigs of RAM in the thing, like 256 gigabytes of storage space, which, like you said, they took out the SD card. It can shoot in like 8K, so it does all of these like really like it has all these cutting edge features. So then you're looking at like the ecosystem, you're comparing the Samsung ecosystem to the Apple ecosystem and what you get from both. And then you're looking at the kind of like novelty items that the cell phones get you to kind of maybe push you one direction or the other.
They did add to the, I think it's only on the Ultra, but they added S Pen support. So you can now use the S Pen with the Ultra. There's no way to house the S Pen in the phone. However, they're going to make some Samsung proprietary cases that will hold an S Pen. But you got to go buy, it doesn't come with an S Pen, so you're going to have to buy yourself an S Pen unless you happen to have an older Note. But I do think that it's cool that they've brought the S Pen to the S21, and I think that it's a step in the direction that I've been thinking Samsung will eventually go, and that's to eliminate the Note series and kind of roll it into the Fold series instead, and have there be the S series and then the Fold series, and just completely get rid of the Note.
And that would be kind of neat.
Well, and I don't think the Note has been very popular over the last few years, anyways. So I think Roy's right. Merging those two devices in there is going to bring a smaller lineup, but a more benefit lineup like Apple has. Where they only release one like major device lineup.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they didn't sell the S20 Ultra. It did not sell very well last year, so I think throwing that S Pen support into the S21 Ultra is a good way to try to woo some users over to the S21 Ultra.
But for a price point, for a starting price point for that though, it's still a lot,
Oh yeah, I would.
Coming from,
if I was interested in a Samsung device, the S21 would not be what I would go for.
Yeah.
Oh really?
No, the S21 Ultra would not be what I would go for. To be honest, for the price point that you're getting and what they're charging, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to go with anything other than the S21. The S21, the S21 Plus are so similar in specs that you're getting the plastic body versus the glass body. Both of them are full HD. They're not quad HD. Only the Ultra's quad HD. The camera systems, I believe, are darn near identical if they're not identical. There's just, unless you really needed that bigger screen, there's no point to not get there's no reason not to get the S21.
So with the cameras, the S21 and the S21 Plus both have 10 megapixel front cameras, and on the back they have 12 megapixel and 64 megapixel cameras. The S21 Ultra has a 40 megapixel front-facing camera, which seems insane, and then a 108 megapixel camera on the back, as well as two other 10 megapixel cameras. And
it can go to 100 times zoom.
Yes. With
which the old version could do as well. The old
Correct.
Ultra could do as well. So that's not really a new feature. The two telephoto lenses I think are probably the biggest upgrade, because I think the older version only had one telephoto lens, or is that right?
That sounds
right. Had one. Yeah. So and then I think you get the biggest things I take away from this is that you're going to get a bigger screen size. They all have the same processor in it looks like, and then battery life gradually goes up, 4,000 milliamp battery life for the baseline model. The Plus model has 4,800 milliamp battery, and you get a 5,000 milliamp battery for the Ultra. The Ultra does come in 512 gigabytes. 128 is the starting. You can get 256. The the Plus model and the baseline model both only come in 128 or 256 gigabytes. So, I mean, does anybody really buy big storage phones anymore? I don't.
No, but as I get more into playing like retro games on my phone, I have thought about getting like SD cards. But if the storage is fast enough on the main phone and like the Wi-Fi or the 5G is fast enough, then I can, delete and then download whatever new games I want to play, just like I do on PC.
Yeah, because I mean, I think I have a 128 gigabyte iPhone, and I don't even come close to filling up the storage.
Mm-hmm.
I'm using
all my music.
73.2
All my music is, all my music is stored in the cloud. I stream music, I stream videos,
Yep.
I do download podcasts. So, I mean, that would be probably about the only thing.
Which, what storage would that really take up unless you're downloading like every single podcast from?
Yeah, no. I listen. They're smaller bits of podcasts, and I listen to them fairly regularly throughout the day. So, it doesn't really,
Yeah. One of the things that you mentioned is that they're bringing the S Pen, and that is one of the things that really interests me because I have the like Note 3 or something like that, and I was just playing around with it. It's nice to be able to take notes. So seeing that if they're not going to come out with notes in the future, that they brought the S Pen to just the standard type of phones. The price though, $40 for an S Pen or like $70 for the Samsung case where you can tuck the S Pen away and pull it out and then use it. Like that's kind of not the experience that I'm looking for because the S Pen that they're releasing doesn't have like Bluetooth. You can't use it as like a camera shutter or like a presenter thing. You don't get air gestures, and it's just not as integrated into the phone as I would like it to be. But it seems like they're releasing something that kind of gives that functionality called the S Pen Pro, but I wasn't able to find any details or like price on when that's coming out. But I don't know, Samsung might address my concerns at some point. Have you guys played around with the Note phones at all? Like, did those interest you?
I had a buddy that loaned me his. He'd bought 2 Note 8s on a buy one get one free deal from T-Mobile, and he was really trying to sell me on Android and switching over to Android at the time. And this was right after the iPhone 10 came out. So he loaned me his Note 8 to play around with it, and I actually had it for quite a while. Like I think I had it for like a year, and I played with it off and on. And there was a lot of things that I liked about the Note, but ultimately, still went back to iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
There's something to be said about the consistency and the ecosystem.
Very true.
But being able to take notes, just pull the pin out and take notes right there on the screen, have that save. Is probably, in my opinion, the only feature in the Note that makes having the Note worthwhile. Otherwise, you might as well just get like the S20 whatever plus phone. Because I mean, yeah, you can get the bigger screen with the Note versus the S21 OnePlus, but the S Pen using the notes on screen. When else are you going to use anything else on a practical day-to-day basis with the Note?
Yeah, and I've never played around with the Note. I do have an iPad Pro, and I have the Apple Pencil with it. So that's about the closest experience I would come to using like a stylus or a pencil for the iPad. And I don't find myself using it. I try to use it. I try to draw. I'm a horrible drawer. I suck at drawing. I try to write notes, but my notes don't come out very good at all. So it's like, where do I go from there? So I kind of phased away from it. I keep it attached to my thing, and sometimes it's nice to use, but very rare would I be using it. So
I've never used like a style. I mean, I've used a stylus, but never have tried the Apple Pencil out or the Samsung's Note Pen. I've always wanted to try it, but I just never trust them. I don't know how. I see all like the art people draw using the Apple Pen, but
yeah, like there's an app called Procreate on the iPhone or on the iPad, and one of the buddies that I worked with, he got me onto it and said it's really easy to trace, and stuff like that. I did some tracing, but I still suck at it. So.
And I imagine like all of these decisions, what Samsung is cutting out of their current phones, what they're adding to it, like you guys were saying, maybe getting rid of the Note line to focus more on, because they have the Galaxy Fold, they have the Galaxy Flip, they have the S21 Ultra, like they have all these kind of high-end spectrum phones that they have to cut and splice features from their really large lineup of phones in general.
And I think the Note lineup really took a hit when it caught on fire and they had to start recalling it. Like that wasn't that long ago. Like that was only like 4 or 5 years ago. So that wasn't very long ago. And
I
just don't
disagree.
think
I
just don't think the
Note
lineup has
9
picked
that was
up.
the most popular one.
You were saying it was the Note 9 that was the most popular one?
I believe the Note 9 was the most popular Note to date. I think that the Note probably hit its stride at the 9 and then stopped getting as good of updates that made it worthwhile past the 9. Like most people, even when the Note 20 came out, there were still more people who had the Note 9 than had the Note 10.
So there's like a lack of upgrading in addition to things catching on fire after the Note 9.
We did an article on that too, didn't we? On the Note 7 catching on fire?
Yeah, we did. Saw a lot of memes about it too. Like, I mean, I still go back to some of the memes, and it's interesting though because just to give you a sense of it, Samsung cut off all services to it. If you have a Note, what was it? It was a Note 7 or
it was the 7, yeah,
right. The Note 7, which caught on fire, it no longer functions as a phone. They sent out an update that eliminated it from being able to charge. So pretty much once the battery runs out, that's it.
Dang.
They killed the charger for it. So essentially, if you have a Note 7, unless you were able to go in there and sync the software somehow or something like that, it's basically useless to you now.
I had no
they
idea.
Were like banning it from flights and everything. I remember that.
Yeah, like they looked at you when you went on the plane. They wanted to see your phone, and if you had a Samsung, they asked what version it was. They wanted to see it. They opened it up. They inspected it.
That really hurt, I think, Samsung as a company, especially, or their reputation, because there's a lot of people I know that refused to buy anything from Samsung again after that. Like, even if it was a refrigerator, they were like, no, their products explode. Like, that was like, same with the TVs. Like, anyone wanted a TV? No one wanted one.
That's why you only get your refrigerators from Microsoft.
True.
Good. Speaking of Samsung competitors, you guys were interested in what was it? The OnePlus
NordVPN.
NordVPN phone.
The new NordVPN.
Can we just talk about the name for a minute? Like, I mean, when you have a very popular VPN service out there, how do you come up with Nord for your phone lineup? Like, there's so many other words you could use. I mean, you could call it the N10, like the OnePlus N10. Like I get it. We were talking earlier, and Roy was saying how OnePlus was really popular in other countries than it is in the U.S. The U.S. is really popular for having NordVPN, but I just feel like that was a poor marketing decision on behalf of OnePlus.
And I don't disagree with that. Not one bit. I completely agree.
Yeah, I feel like if you're a big company like that, you can do some. They must have done some kind of market research and been like, you know what, we like the name Nord, and it's okay enough where we'll deal with NordVPN and all the spam that happens when you type in the word Nord in Google. Nord OnePlus.
Who knows? Eventually, they could overrun NordVPN with when you search Nord. The OnePlus will come up first. Like, that could happen, but
and then we'll see a lawsuit from NordVPN to OnePlus suing over the search engine results for it. But yeah, I don't know. I think they could have come up with it. Even if you go under the phone, like, navigation menu on their website, it says the N10 5G. So just cut out the Nord. Like,
you already have the N in there.
Yeah, I mean, if you look up at there, they have the OnePlus Nord, then they have the OnePlus Nord 10, and then they have the N1000 under the Nord series. Like,
so what
I think they should have just called the Nord.
Like, is that their budget line, or is Nord like?
That's exactly what it is. It's their budget.
It's their budget line. Yeah. So
I mean, I guess
they have they have the Nord N10 5G, and then the Nord 100. The Nord 100 and the Nord 10 are the newer phones out of the lineup.
And what is like? What do you guys think its shining feature is? I guess out of the lineup that's
its price point.
Its price point, yeah. I mean, absolutely. I mean, when you look at the features that you get out of it, and it's the fact that it's a 5G phone, you get 128 gigabytes of storage, 6 gigabytes of RAM. You get 4 cameras, a 90 hertz smooth display. You get the warp charger for, I mean, how can you not say that that's not a great deal?
I mean, that's comparable to the Galaxy S21, at least in like the numbers that you were just talking about, like number of cameras, amount of storage space, amount of RAM. Like the S21 has 8 gigs of RAM and this has 6. Like, not bad at all for that much of a drop in price. $300 versus $800.
And that's the beauty of OnePlus right there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, and you can't. You have a rear mounted fingerprint scanner. You have face unlock.
Google
4,000. Yeah, Google. I'm just saying they've done it. Why can't you do it? Like, seriously. And a 4,300 milliamp battery, non-removable. They did say that in there. And then you get fast charging with it. I don't believe that you get wireless charging.
Only on the 8 Pro.
Yeah. So you don't get on the Nord series, you don't get the wireless Pro, or you don't get the wireless charging.
I think the OnePlus's fast charging is my favorite feature of just the OnePlus. Like, I can throw it on my charger and it doesn't matter. I don't really care about the battery life because I can just at any time throw it on my charger for like 15-30 minutes and get a full day's battery. Like, it's their chargers are the best, I think. I'm not too sure.
And I'll say, so if you look at OnePlus, they also have the N100. It's not available in the US, but for the price point of it, $179, like that's a pretty good price. That's a pretty good price point. It's not a 5G capable phone though, so you do lose the 5G capability. But still, I mean, it's a 5,000 milliamp battery. It's got 4 gigabytes or 64 gigabytes of storage, a 6.52 inches screen, dual speakers, triple cameras. So you're only missing out on one camera, and pretty much 5G. You're still getting a lot of all the other features. I don't think you get face unlock with it.
It's still a fantastic price for a phone like that.
Yeah.
And they have the forward-facing
not available in the US.
Oh, sad face.
Not available in the US. But it does support 18-watt fast charging. It has a 5,000 milliamp battery, 64 gigabytes, with expandable storage up to 256 gigabytes. And I stand corrected. It does have rear fingerprint and face unlock.
Boom.
Google.
So when are you getting your OnePlus N100?
I'm not getting it because it doesn't have 5G. It also has a USB Type C, a 35 millimeter headphone jack. I mean, You just get, and it does come with a USB-C charging adapter. So,
hey, wow. An interesting decision by OnePlus to keep the charger in the box.
So if you're in the UK or one of the other countries that it's available in, the N100 is another, great, budgetary device.
So T-Mobile launched the N10 and the N100 here in the United States, both extremely.
They didn't launch the N100.
The N100 not 5G, didn't they?
No, I don't think so.
They have two Nord phones.
It's the N10 5G, I think.
I think it's just a 5G one. Let me look here. Cell phones.
You can buy it from T-Mobile, not in the US though.
No, Nord 100. It's on T-Mobile's website right here. They got the Nord 10 5G and the
Nord 100. I
Nord
stand corrected. 180 in the US.
So $299 for the Nord N10 5G. If you're going to get a Nord phone from T-Mobile, that's not a bad price. Matt, you should go pick one up and do a review on it.
If they'll let me borrow it, I'll definitely do that.
I was talking to the other Matt, not Matt.
Oh, that makes a ton more sense.
Yeah, I mean, for a budget device, it's actually a great device. So, does lack the 5G service, so I probably will not get it because
I'm talking Android about the N10 5G.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, you kind of talked me out of it because my Pixel is actually a little bit nicer. So I think I do want a 5G phone though. I think before I upgrade my Android device.
It is 5G.
Yep.
It 5G, is
90 hertz smooth display.
It is, but it doesn't have some of the features that I want. Wireless charging being one of them, because I don't even know I don't plug in any of my phones anymore. I literally wireless charge all my devices now. So it has to have wireless charging.
Yeah, my iPhone 12, the only time it gets wire charged is when I plug it in my car. And that's because
my car doesn't even I plug it right into my wireless charging in my car. Wireless charging in my car, wireless charging at home, wireless charging at work, but I don't go into work right now. So working from home, it just sits on the charger all day. So what is important to you guys in a budget device? What would be great features? And I refer to the left half of our screen because I know what Roy's are. But what would you guys like in budget devices?
For me, I would say battery life and speed. Those are pretty much the two things. Could care less about the camera. I could care less about the speakers. It's just if it's slow, you can't use it, and if it's dead, you can't use it.
Very true. I definitely think battery life is important.
Yeah, and 6 gigabytes of RAM is a lot of RAM for a budgetary device. Yeah. So I definitely think that's a plus for it. I disagree with you, Tim. I think the camera could be a little bit nicer so that when you're outside the Apple store taking a photo, it's actually bright.
See, I don't take pictures unless I'm on vacation, and then I'd probably rather have an actual camera rather than a phone camera.
I have a DSLR I bring. I don't use I don't like using phone. I mean, phone cameras are great for quick little pictures of something, but I'd rather use a full DSLR for my pictures, except when I'm outside of an Apple store taking a photo.
If you didn't follow Tim on Twitter, you should. He was buying a battery case for his wife outside the Apple store, and he wore his Windows T-shirt. Windows
sweater.
Proud of you.
Thank you.
Windows sweater, yeah. Windows sweater. Sorry.
I'm disappointed they didn't say anything to you about it.
I think they gave me glares. Also, Apple has had a wet floor sign, and I almost slipped on the floor, and I thought that would have been almost really funny if I actually fell. But
they would have been like, Windows user.
I know.
Can't even read a caution sign.
That would have been their next highlight of their commercial for coming into the store. It'd be, he's a Windows user.
Like, they have cameras in there, so they'd be like replaying it. It'd just be so ironic.
I would have made someone's day.
I would have said the only tiles you're getting are the ones on the ground.
Oh.
Yeah. So Matt, you said battery life. What else?
Battery life and responsiveness. So speed, basically. I want to not notice any slowdown in any of the apps that I'm using. Doesn't have to be like a cutting edge processor, just for what I'm using, either in the middle of a game or while I'm switching between apps. I just want that to be snappy and responsive.
5G?
No, gosh, don't care about 5G almost at all. I will wait until that gets more ubiquitous and the first generation hardware, which we're maybe on the second generation of 5G hardware now, until that gets a little bit more mature, because I think 4G is fast enough for everything that I do. And until, I don't know, they figure out what's going on with 5G, and like I said, it's more ubiquitous, then I'll start taking a look at it. I
think we're still a year or two out from seeing 5G more or less come to fruition.
I don't know. Ask Des. He's a T-Mobile product manager at T-Mobile. And if you don't follow him on Twitter, you should. It's at Ask Des, DES. And anyways, he was out in. I'm not sure what device he was showing off. It might have been the Nord VPN, but he got some great speeds for. What are you laughing at? He got some great speeds for 5G in the Bellevue area. It was like a 1 gigabyte or 1 gigabyte. What?
Nothing.
You said the Nord VPN. He was on the Nord VPN.
Oh. See, this is why you can't name your phone Nord.
Oh, that's amazing.
Well, I mean, when we were down in Bellevue, there at the park, I was pulling 300 megabytes per second down on the iPhone, and that's not millimeter wave. That's off of probably low band or possibly the mid band 5G. So I mean, if you're in the right area, 5G is completely worth it.
Oh yes, definitely.
If you're not in the right area, I still think you're a year or two out till 5G is going to make more of a difference.
Do you really notice it now, though? Like when you're using your phone, you're like, I'm getting 300 megabytes per second, but what are you doing? Like loading a web page? Maybe browsing Facebook?
Watching videos.
Like a YouTube video?
YouTube videos, or your game streaming now is really popular. So if you're streaming gaming on thing, I think 5G is going to be great for that.
If I'm trying to play Fortnite on Safari on my iPhone, I need that 300 megabytes per second.
Yeah, game streaming and playing like xCloud or something like that, I think 5G would be a great use for, and that's one of the things that everybody seems to be looking forward to. I would love to do that, but I don't think any of that technology is there yet. But it would be nice if I lived in a 5G hotspot. Then I'd be like,
You do live in a 5G hotspot because you live in Bellevue, and they have super fast. So depending on where you're at, but they do. Hold on, I'm trying to see if I can find his speed test. I thought that I liked it, but
see, now I'll have to look up my 5G in my area.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm totally okay with waiting, because that way all of the phones can better integrate with 5G. Like Apple was doing the adaptive 4 or 5G, where it would throttle down to 4G and only use the 5G antenna or the 5G waves when you had a good connection to 5G, which is awesome. I'd like to see that improve. I'd like to see Samsung's hardware and like the processors just slowly better integrate with the 5G like speeds and technology and stuff, and the phones and the use cases also mature. I just remember like 4G. Everybody was like, "OMG, 4G is amazing." And at the beginning, it was just kind of like none of the developers or services that you would want to use 4G for were like ready for it. So it didn't really impact my life for, I would say, at least 3, maybe 4 years.
I can't find the tweet, but I think it was over a gig.
That's
download
insane.
speed for 5G. So that was hella fast. And I think that's what 5G is ultimately all going to be about once it's fully rolled out to everywhere.
And that's super exciting. Like being able to stream like 4K movies without really any buffering or not really worrying about, I don't know, what else you might be doing in the background, whatever you're downloading or uploading to something, like just complete seamless experience with the internet would be awesome.
I'm excited for 5G. When I worked in downtown Seattle, I would always lose. I'd watch YouTube or some other streaming service on the way home, and it was always cutting out, especially down one street you'd turn down and just it would lose signal and like everything would cut out.
I found it.
Ooh.
Hold on.
Let me.
Oh wow.
Whew.
It looks like
Look at
1.8, something like that.
Yeah, 1,000.8.23 megabytes. That is hella fast.
What even is?
So, and that is he tweeted, so here's an example of 5G on a Bellevue Street corner in real world. He didn't say where it was, but definitely. And like I said, Matt, like we were in downtown Bellevue Square Park. I think Roy and I topped out at like 500, right? Was it?
Well, I got one that was in the 4s, and then when I tried to duplicate the process, it was only 300.
Yeah. So definitely got to be in the right area in order, because some of the towers are, upgraded and some of them are not, I'm assuming. But yeah. Also, I will tell you guys should follow Asdez, though, because he's a very Android user. On Twitter, he's not really an iPhone person, so he always mostly tweets about new Android devices. He does unboxing events for T-Mobile. He does some crazy things, like he ziplined. I think it was in Hawaii. He ziplined across with one of the Samsung Galaxy phones or one of the Android devices with it. So
What's his name?
Definitely, it's Asdes, ASKDES.
I found him.
Yeah, I met him when we back when Gooply went to the Vlogger Fair. He was there, and he had Google glasses, and I got to try them on.
Nice,
really cool, because he was doing a product release for it. So definitely a very cool guy, very Android person, engineer. You should definitely follow him. So. Matt said, what is the best app to measure speed, download, and upload speeds? I use speedtest.net. They have an app on both iOS and Android. Do you guys use anything else, or do you guys use the same one?
I feel like that's the standard, like the industry standard.
Yeah, definitely worth it. Yeah, so.
I use Google's speed test, which I think might just go through speedtest.net, but I just type in test speed in a Google search bar and then have it test.
Speed test. I would try speed test. They're usually the pretty best one. That's what Des used when he did his. I feel like it's very accurate. So that was that speed test was on the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra 5G.
Ooh. That's what he got the 1000 on. That's good.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep. So yeah. So speed test is what you want. Yep.
In that case, was there anything else you guys wanted to talk about? Are we forgetting anything?
I don't think so. I think we covered everything.
Okay. In that case, we can wrap it up. We'll be back next week on the Gooply Cast. Thank you all for joining us on this episode. You'll be able to find our replays on YouTube and the podcast version of our episodes on all your favorite podcasting apps, including iHeartRadio. Follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook for updates on the podcast and to be notified of our video reviews. I've been your host, Matt Carter. For Matt, Roy, and Tim, thank you all for watching and for listening. We'll see you next time on the Gooply Cast.